Hello everyone, welcome to this first episode of Locomotive Cats. Today I would like to talk to you a bit about model trains, particularly N-scale model trains, which I have, show you the stuff that I have and talk a bit about why I decided to get these. Let's get rid of that pen. So I had a model railroad set when I was a kid, and I quite liked it. It got lost over the years, and then about half a year ago, my own kid got a similar set as a present from their grandparents, and we had great fun playing with that. And I started thinking that, okay, well, maybe this could also, in addition to just being something for the kid, it could also be a hobby for me. And I could maybe, get some of the stuff that I always wanted as a kid, but we could never afford. But then when we, played a bit more with my child, I quickly realized that, if I think of these things as something for me, as models, then it won't be as fun for the child, because I'm constantly telling them that, you have to be careful, these things break, they're models and not toys. So I had the idea that, what about a different scale? Because the stuff that I had as a kid and the stuff that my kid now has is in scale HO or H0, but that's more difficult to pronounce, so let's go with HO, but it's not Ho, which is 1 in 87. It also has the problem that in a fairly small apartment, an HO, even a small HO layout, will fill the entire living room floor. That's a very difficult term for me to pronounce. So I started thinking at, okay, a smaller scale, like scale N, which is 1 in 160. That's a lot smaller. So that could be, better if and when I want to build an actual permanent layout that has landscaping and buildings and all that kind of stuff. That would be a lot better, because even if one day we would have enough space for the layouts of my dreams in HO scale, I could fit a much larger layout in the same space in N scale. So that makes sense. So for a while nothing happened, but then I was looking at online flea markets and happened to see someone selling N-scale passenger coaches, passenger carriages, whatever is the correct term in whichever version of English, by Pico, which is an old East German manufacturer. It still exists, but obviously East Germany does not. But I had the idea, if I make a permanent layout, then it could be East Germany themed because of reasons. So, unboxing. Let's see, does this display anything resembling nicely? No, you can't actually zoom there. That's a bit bad. Oh well. Anyway, so this is an old East German passenger carriage model by Pico. I'm not sure how you're actually supposed to pronounce that. And just, to give you an idea, here is an HO scale carriage of about the same real-life dimensions as this N-scale one. And because this is a video, it looks like this is much closer to you. It isn't. These are now side by side, or actually, this can also go here. And yeah, so good reason to choose a smaller scale. it takes up the space. So yeah, I got 2 of these little babies as a start of my collection. By the way, as someone who has an interest in graphic design, I love these old Pico boxes. They, the graphic designer in me really appreciates the very simple and effective design. Plus, the rail going around the world. Even my kid was like, "Yeah, that looks really cool." Anyway, I got those. And then a little while went by and nothing happened. And then someone at a Finnish model trains Facebook group was selling a bunch of stuff for a relatively cheap price considering what was there. And a lot of that wasn't something that I would actually be interested in. But one thing that there was this. This is a model by Brava, which is another German model train maker. It's East German class 132, so 132 maybe for simplicity's sake, locomotive, diesel locomotive. These were built in the Soviet Union in the 70s, and it's something that I really wanted, and I got it. So that was kind of the main attraction of the set that I got. But what it also had was a bunch of God, difficult when it's mirrored. A bunch of these Mitropa, which was before World War II. It was the German rail company that had the dining cars, which this is, and then overnight carriages, so sleepers. And then after World War II, Mitropa became the East German company that handled these things. For some reason, they also did catering in East German gas stations, I've been told. I'm not actually sure if this is an East German one or a pre-World War II unified German one, but the livery and everything is close enough identical, and we're talking about really small things. I mean, I have huge hands and it's a tiny carriage, so if it's zooming around the layout, it doesn't matter whether it's exactly the way it's supposed to be or not. As I was speaking about the boxes, did I have the... No. Oh well. Tricks box, notably inferior in design, in my opinion, to the nice Pico one. And also in that same set of things, there's 4 of those Mitropa ones. Same set were 4 Soviet passenger carriages. No, buggy looks great. These are also by Pico. There were 4 of these. 2 of them were broken, but in different ways. So what I did was made one that works out of 2 that were broken. So now we have 3 that work. And then you may correctly ask Mr. Beardy Man with a man bun that's slightly lopsided, if you're going to have an East Germany themed thing, why would you want Soviet coaches? And that is a relevant question. Well, one thing is that there were international trains going from the Soviet Union to places within continental Europe, like the Moscow-Paris train, which passed through East Germany. It was supposedly the only train that went, all the way through East Germany. And then you also had the Moscow-Copenhagen train, also going through East Germany, so there would be a reason for Soviet carriages to make an appearance in East Germany for that, but also because there were Soviet military bases in East Germany, obviously, as a part of the Warsaw Pact, so these would have also carried soldiers. Plenty of reason for them to appear. And then One more thing that I got from that, and I kept, I've also sold some of the stuff already, was this baby, which is East German, or well, it's another Pico model, so it's an East German model, but the thing that it's modeled after is a double-decker passenger carriage that was built in East Germany. This also existed in East Germany itself, in Deutsche Reichsbahn livery, but this is, if you look carefully, and if you can make out the letters, I'm not actually sure how to pronounce that correctly, but I presume that the letter C with a little hat over it is CZ for Czechoslovakian railways. So this is a Czechoslovakian version of an East German double-decker passenger carriage. East Germany was one of the forerunners in building double-decker passenger carriages, which is quite interesting. If you're a nerd like me. And that was the stuff that I got from that one set that I actually kept. But then, a while later, in KataWiki, which is an online auction site, you may know of it, was someone there was selling a complete East German passenger train set. So here we have, this is again a model by Pico from the East German days. I almost said good old, but then not really good, but old. So this is a class 118 class diesel locomotive. These were built in East Germany. There was a similar class 119, which was built in Romania. But if you compare to the 132 model, the Ludmila, this actually looks very similar to the real thing, whereas this takes some creative liberties. But good enough for me. Also, it was cheap. This, when I tested this out earlier, this worked briefly, and then it stopped working, and I haven't yet figured out why. But yeah, we'll need to clean it properly and see what happens. But you know, looks nice, probably fixable. So there was this locomotive, and then it came with 5 passenger carriages. These don't actually have a mention of who made them, so I'm not sure. But so this is a single-decker half first, half second class carriage, and then there were one of those and 4 of these second class ones. So it can make a nice full East German passenger train. And then at the time when I thought, yeah, now I will make this video, that was all I had. But I had ordered something from eBay which arrived before I actually made this video, which is, how can I fit this entirely in the frame? So this is, as you can probably already make out, an Deutsche Reichsbahn logoed version of the double-decker carriage I showed you earlier, except that this is made of 3 segments rather than 2 on the Czechoslovakian version. As you can see, they have what I presume are driver's compartments at both ends. So these were designed for, presumably, for push-pull trains. So you would have locomotive on one end, it would pull in one direction and then push in the other direction. You'll be steering from the, what do you call it? Driver's compartment. Ohjaamo in Finnish. In the other direction, and yeah. So that's, I really like this one for some reason. My original idea was that when I get that 3-part one, I will sell this two-part Czechoslovakian one, but now I'm not so sure because it looks nice. But you would have Czechoslovakian passenger carriages turn up in East Germany in its international trains, like you would have Berlin to Prague Express, but because those were international prestige trains, they would likely have single-decker carriages in them rather than double-decker ones. So I can't really think of a reason why there would be a Czechoslovakian double-decker passenger carriage in East Germany. And that was sort of the rolling stock show for today. I bumbled along for 20 minutes now. I will hopefully manage to edit that down a bit. And next we will have a track building montage, and I will show you how some of those work.
No.
So that was all for today, I think. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Special thanks to Urho the cat for his appearances there. I hope you liked those too. Also, please comment down below if you have any tips or thoughts on model trains, any corrections to my pronunciation, if you know whether the East German double-decker trains were actually really push-pull trains, or if you just think I should concentrate more on cat videos. I will see you next time.